So last week I sent out an email inviting people to ask me questions, anything relating to health, fitness, well-being. I've had a really good response, and as promised, I said that I would answer all these questions. Otherwise, I would donate £100 into your bank account and run to Tesco in a Borat costume. So thankfully, that's not going to happen because I'm going to get through every single question. So I'm just going to fire away now. Thank you very much as well to everybody that did email the questions. As I've said many times before, it is a great privilege to help people, and I absolutely love doing this stuff, hence why I'm doing this video. So first question is from Paria, and it is, my question is, as a mother who works and goes to university with absolutely no time and too much study, how can I fit fitness into my schedule? I really want to get fit, however, I'm having trouble finding time. Okay, that's a great question, and it's very common. You know, we live in a fast-paced society where our attention is always occupied, especially if you've got children, you're studying. It's going to be difficult to actually find that time, but the long and short answer is you've got to make time. So everybody has a certain amount of time. We don't necessarily have 60 minutes every single day to train, but I'm sure, Paria, that you've got 10 minutes to find some exercises to do. It doesn't have to be a particularly long workout, just 10 minutes doing stuff like push-ups, doing planks, jogging on the spot, even doing a HIIT workout, for example. That's where you do something like a 20-second sprint on the spot, followed by 40 seconds of just power walking on the spot. If you were to do that 3 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week, then that's going to still lead to improving your fitness. And I guarantee that when you start getting into the routine, you'll find more and more time for exercise, because the benefit the exercise is actually going to have on your mental well-being, on your relationship with your children, because you're going to have more energy, and also your focus and your studying is going to become better because you're going to have endorphins going around your body, and you're going to feel just so much better by doing your training. So my answer to that is to find 5 to 10 minutes and train 4 to 5 times a week, and I guarantee it will lead to improvements for you. So the second email is, hi Nick, my question is, I want to lose 1 stone and get really lean, but the power that I have and have been working on, how do I keep that without losing muscle mass? So this is from Matt, and Matt is a cyclist, so he wants to lose weight but keep the power and sustain the muscle which he's built. So that's another great question, and the answer to that is you don't want to do anything too dramatically. I know Matt cycles a lot, so it's going to be quite easy for you to lose the weight by creating a calorie deficit. Now, again, based on me knowing you, I wouldn't suggest necessarily doing that through nutrition, because I know you put in long hours at your work, and I also know that you're going to be doing a lot of training. So I would do that through exercise, making sure that you're keeping up your strength work, keeping up your power work, and creating a deficit, just a small deficit, you know, maybe 200 to 300 calories a day. So figure out your overall intake, what you're having, and then try and reduce that by 200 to 300 calories. But where most people go wrong is that they stop the weight training altogether. So when you do that, you stop the power that you built up over the months or years. So the most important thing is to keep doing exactly what you're doing, but just create that deficit and do things slowly. If you can be looking at losing, you know, half a pound to a pound every single week, then you're going to lose a stone, you know, in a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, and it's going to be sustainable. You're not going to feel too tired. So my answer to you, Matt, is to do things very slowly and gradually. I hope that helps, buddy. I look forward to catching up with you soon. Third question, sorry. Hi Nick, my question for you is regarding my sister. She has irritable bowel disorder and chronic pain in the left side of her body. She's been in and out of hospital, and due to ill health has lost a job and now lost hope in life. She's on morphine patches for pain relief and a variety of opiate based medicine. We recently got a private dietitian who has said she can't handle a lot of food, and she's currently eating 1,400 calories a day through eating grilled chicken, salad and vegetables. So far she's been on this for a week, and irritable bowel disorder has not flared up. She needs to lose 2 stone as it's affecting her bones. Also, she needs to get active, but due to lack of confidence she won't go to the gym. Please advise what you could help and how you could help and what the cost would be. Okay, So I'm obviously very sorry to hear about your health condition, but the good news is that you can improve it. Everybody can improve the condition, and it's all about doing small steps, small things. So as I touched upon in Paria's question, the first question that I answered, invest in even just a minute or 2 minutes just walking up the stairs, tracking how many steps you're doing, setting a target. So for example, you could have a step counter and just record your steps for 2 days, what you would normally do, and then look to increase it by 100 steps and do that for a week, and then the week after another 100 steps. Doing small things, you know, if you're struggling to move, doing air punches while you sat down. Anything which requires movement requires energy, which requires burning calories, so ultimately that's going to help with weight loss. And just making small improvements, small tweaks to the diet. It's great that the system that you've been using for the last week has been helping, so if it is helping, I'd encourage you to keep doing that. Looking at supplementing yourself with good vitamins and just doing small things. So say for example, drinking a little bit more water, doing a few more steps, doing some more exercise whilst you sat down, taking a multivitamin, and then following the nutritional plan which your dietitian has given to you so far, and you'll see some good improvements, I would imagine. So the next question is from Matthew, another Matthew. So since we did our programs and I got into the best shape of my life, my circumstances changed. I became settled in a good job, found myself a great girl, getting comfortable, saw me eating more comfort foods and exercising less. I have admittedly lost most of what we gained, and now looking at myself in a different way. I'm hungry to change, literally hungry, haha. I've started dieting this week using shakes for breakfast, using only proteins and carbs, then carbs drops throughout the day. Is there anything I should be doing to ensure the weight loss? I am now around 12.6 stone, hands over face. So Matthew, you know, me and Matthew trained together a couple of years ago. Matthew's based in Manchester, and he did get himself into fantastic shape. And as we all do, we all lose it now and then. You know, we all go through phases where we're on it, we're training hard, nutrition's good, we're seeing results, we're feeling excellent, and then one thing leads to another, you know, whether we get into a relationship, whether work takes over our lives or children take over our lives, and it's very easy, it's a slippery slope from there. So first of all, you're not alone. Lots and lots of people are in exactly the same position as yourself, and the key is, how do you reverse it? Now, just like when you got in shape, it didn't happen overnight. Getting back in shape is not going to happen overnight, so you've got to break things down into small steps and set yourself goals. What is the end goal going to be? So let's say, for example, in 6 months' time, where do you want to be? Where would you need to be for you to be happy with your body? What would it look like? How would you feel? How many times a week would you be training? Start thinking about the end goal and then rewind back to where you are now. So set yourself a goal for the end of the month. So if you're just getting back into training, Matty, start training just 3 or 4 times a week. Because all of a sudden, that's a huge difference. You don't want to be going back to the training that we were doing 6 or 7 times a week. Start your first month training 3 or 4 times a week. Stick to compound movements, stuff like the deadlift, the squat, the bench press, shoulder presses, pull-ups if you can do those. And just build up, record your weights, make sure you're making small improvements, and just getting back into the gym is going to be a great step for yourself. Start looking at your calories, monitoring your calories, making small tweaks to your diet. So the first month, I would not overwhelm yourself with too much stuff. I'd start off by just trying to get back into training and neaten up your diet. Then month 2, take it from there. But the long and short answer is, well, the short answer is just to make small goals for yourself, Matty. And I know you can do it, you're a very determined guy. So just look at doing small gradual changes, and you can get yourself back down to a very healthy weight very quickly because of the muscle mass which you built up in the past and your training experience from all the sessions that we did a couple of years ago. So I hope that helps. Getting through them now. Okay, so this is some of the questions I've written down through clients in our one-to-one sessions. What are the best fat burning foods? And this is by Simon. The answer is, there's no food that really burns fat. Every food that you consume in your body contains calories, and it's how your body breaks down those calories and converts them into energy. Obviously, we live in a day and age now with lots of processed junk food which contains very little nutritional value to our bodies. So in order to burn fat, you need to create some sort of deficit. You can create that deficit through training, through extra burning of calories, or through dieting, through reduction of calories, or a bit of both. but there is no actual best fat burning foods. Okay, this is a question from Mark. Am I a believer of eating certain times of the day? I like to just stick to 4 to 5 meals a day. I find that works really, really well. It's good for sustaining muscle mass, and it's good for keeping hunger at bay. You get people that eat 6 to 7 meals a day, and maybe professional bodybuilders, and that works well for them. But I think for most people, anything from 3 to 5 meals a day, 3 maybe main meals and 1 or 2 snacks, is a good starting point. Okay, this is from Julie. What do you need from a client in order to succeed, i.e. get results? A great question. The answer is commitment. The client has to make that shift in their head and actually want to fully commit. They want to know, they have to want to make the change more than they want to stay in their own comfort zone. So by that, what I mean is the desire to actually improve your body shape, improve your fitness, the pain that it's going to cause you not to change is so great that you have to change. It's got to be a must priority. And also understanding what results you actually want. So you've got different ends of the spectrum. You've got people that want maybe like 6 packs and to become extremely fit and healthy, and then say the other end of the spectrum, which is people that are obese, that maybe just don't care about training, and you've got all the in between as well. So you need to find out, like, what do you want to do, picture where you would be in 6 to 12 months time, and then figure out, right, how much do I actually want this, what are the pros to this, what are the cons to this, because everything has a pro and a con to it. So the pro is that you get fitter, you get healthier, you gain more confidence, but some of the cons might be that you have to make sacrifices, you have to eat certain foods, you may miss certain social occasions, and it's understanding, right, what do you actually want and what are you prepared to do. So that's what I always look for whenever I take on one-to-one clients or online clients as well. Okay, this is another question. So how do you prioritize training, i.e. strength, without neglecting other areas of fitness? So again, if we go on the spectrum, you've got strength training, and then maybe you've got endurance training, and then there's all sorts in between as well. So in terms of prioritizing what you want, again, you've got to figure out, what do I want to achieve? Do I want to become fitter? Do I want to look better? Do I want a little bit of both? And then figure out, prioritize what's going to be most important. So say, for example, some of the guys are training, they want bigger chest, so chest muscles. So what we'll do is we'll train chest maybe 2 or 3 times a week to really hit that area hard. Say somebody wants to improve the fitness more than they want to improve how the body looks, we will spend more time doing fitness work, fitness training, fitness testing, than doing kind of strength-based work, conditioning work. So it's all about prioritizing what you want and then focusing more on that aspect whilst working on the other aspects as well, which are going to help you. Okay. And we've got one more question, I think, email. This is from Carl. Hi Nick, I have a couple of questions for you. Feel free to answer any or all if you like. I'm going to have to answer them all, otherwise I'm going to have to go to Tesco and bought that question. I don't fancy that. I don't think the people at Sheffield fancy that either. What's the best way to increase squat depth? I see people in the gym squatting literally ass to the grass, and I barely just get past parallel, although it's low enough to pass as a squat in competition. My hips and groin really feel like they are pulling when I hit 90 degrees. What would you suggest to improve squat depth? And would you say offers a competitive advantage to both working on squat depth? Carl, again, really, really good question. And congratulations on your transformation. Really, really impressed. I saw that on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, so well done. Again, you've kind of answered your own question there. You've talked about your hips and groin feeling like they're pulling. So that means that your flexibility might not be adequate enough. Well, it's not adequate enough for you to get into that 90 degree squat position. So I'd work on stuff like stretching out your hips, stretching out your groin, stuff like doing a hurdle stretch, leaning back, stretching out all the hips, practicing squat position and just holding here, opening up your groin, stretching out the inner adductor muscles, practicing on stretching. Hold your stretches for 60 to 120 seconds after working out. Do plenty of foam rolling, so rolling out the hips, and again, rolling out the thighs. So what I'd recommend to improve your squat depth is to first of all warm up, maybe warm up on a cross trainer for 5 or 10 minutes, Then spend 5 or 10 minutes doing some foam rolling, 5 to 10 minutes doing some activation exercises, you know, like the stretches, dynamic movements, where you're really warming up your legs and getting them prepared to squat, and then just gradually working on your form, going lower and lower. And then over a period of time, you're going to improve your flexibility, improve your mobility, and that's going to allow you to go lower when you squat. So that's the first question. Second question, what's the best method of increasing muscle mass without getting fat? I've done a lot to lose a lot of body fat now, and I want to add some muscle. I want to do this efficiently, but I don't want to put fat on. From things I've read, people talk about bulking cycles and adding mass, but discuss that adding body fat is inevitable. Is this true? And if not, what method would you suggest for adding lean mass? Okay, so in order to build muscle, you need to be in a calorie surplus, which means your body has to have more calories than it's burning. And to lose weight, you have to be in a deficit, which is the complete opposite, less calories, so your body can start burning body fat and tapping into reserves. When you're looking to build muscle, there are ways of doing it effectively. Of course, if you're doing a longer bulking phase, it's going to be inevitable that you may put on a little bit of body fat, but you can do things to mitigate that. So what I like to do is to maybe pick, say I'm training 4 days a week and I have 3 rest days. On the 4 days that I'm training, I'm going to be in a calorie surplus, so I'm going to make sure that I'm giving my body more calories than it needs, maybe just 200 or 300 calories more than what it needs in order to start building muscle. I'll have more carbohydrates, I'll have protein on those days because I'm going to be active, I'm going to be stimulating muscle growth through my training and through my hard workouts. Then on the 3 rest days, what I'll do is I'll pull back on my calories slightly, and I'll either eat to maintain my body weight or just have a slight deficit of maybe 100 or 200 calories. I'll have no carbohydrates, and then that way it's a way of kind of pushing up but not aggressively pushing up, because if you're just constantly in a surplus all the time, it will work, but then you'll hit a tipping point where you just start accumulating unnecessary body fat. So what I like to do is, as a general rule of thumb, is if I go above 12% body fat, I'll pull back slightly. It's all about making adjustments along the way. So say for example, you push your calories up, and 4 weeks time your weight's going up and you're still looking good, still keep pushing the calories up.